Joash becomes king as a child and rules under the guidance of the priest Jehoiada, okay? As long as Jehoiada lives, Joash does what is right. But after Jehoiada's death, Joash's heart is exposed, and the results are devastating. This chapter shows the danger of depending on a leader instead of God, okay? The first part of this chapter covers Joash repairs the temple. Joash becomes king at the age of 7 and reigns 40 years. Early years guided by Jehoiada, okay? Joash did what is right in the eyes of the Lord in the ears of Jehoiada the priest. Jehoiada mentors him spiritually, almost like a father, and Joash repairs the temple. He decides to restore the temple, which had been neglected, damaged during Athaliah's reign, and stripped of its treasures, okay? The priests were slow to collect funds, so Joash creates a new system. A chest is placed at the temple gate. People give willingly, and the chest fills up repeatedly, okay? The funds are used to hire stone cutters, carpenters, and metal workers, okay? The temple is restored beautifully. And when Jehoiada leads him, Joash does great things for God, okay? But the second part of this chapter covers the death of Jehoiada, where everything changes, okay? So Jehoiada lives to be 130 years old, extremely rare. He's honored, okay? He was buried with the kings because of the God he had done for Israel and for God, okay? This is remarkable. He wasn't a king, but he was buried like one because he preserved God's covenant and restored Judah. Jehoiada is one of the greatest heroes in Chronicles. Then the third part of the chapter covers Joash falls into apostasy, okay? After Jehoiada dies, the true heart of Joash appears, okay? The leaders of Judah come to him and flatter him. Without Jehoiada, Joash listens to corrupt advisors. They abandon the temple of the God of their ancestors, and turn to Asherah poles and idols. All the time those Asherah poles. God sends prophets to warn them, but they refused to listen. So Joash didn't have a personal relationship with God, only borrowed faith from Jehoiada. The fourth part of this chapter covers Joash murders Jehoiada's sons. So then the worst moment comes. Jehoiada's son Zechariah becomes filled with the Spirit and warns the people. Why do you disobey the Lord's commands? You will not prosper. Instead of repenting, Joash orders his death. They stoned Zechariah in the courtyard of the temple, the very place Joash once repaired. As he dies, Zechariah says, "May the Lord sit and call you to account." Yeah, because he was dying. That's why I did this voice. He was struggling. Okay. Joash repays Jehoiada's kindness with murder. This is the turning point of God's judgment, okay? So the fifth part of the chapter covers judgment falls on Joash. So God sends the Arameans with a small army. Though the Aramean army had come with only a few men, the Lord delivered a very large army into their hands. The invaders destroyed leaders, sent Joash many warnings, left him severely wounded. It's clear that is divine judgment for killing Jehoiada's son, okay? So the sixth part of this chapter covers Joash is assassinated. While lying wounded, Joash's own officials conspire against him. Why? Because he had murdered the son of Jehoiada. They killed Joash in his bed. He is buried in Jerusalem, but not in the tombs of the kings. What is the contrast here? So Jehoiada, a priest, is buried with kings. Joash, a king, is excluded from their tombs. A complete reversal of honor. His son, Amaziah, becomes king after him. Okay, and what are the key lessons from the 2 Chronicles Chapter 24. The first lesson is you must have your own relationship with God. Joash obeyed only when Jehoiada lived. His faith wasn't personal, so he is living in the shadow of a prophet, but not speaking directly to God. Second lesson, wrong counsel destroys right living. After Jehoiada's death, bad advisors led him into idolatry, okay? So yeah, he even switched the logic because of that, so he was totally wrong. So the third lesson is spiritual drift begins with small compromises. Joash slowly abandons God until he murders a prophet. Yeah, I think that was the final act, the threshold, the limit of its wrongdoings, okay? Yeah. And the fourth lesson is God avenges the innocent. Zechariah's final word come true. Joash dies by conspiracy, okay? So the destiny is interesting because sometimes things get reversed as it happened to him. He was killed by someone else. Yeah. 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 Is he? Yeah, he is. He is. He is. He is. He is assassinated. Yeah. All right, so what are the fifth lesson? A God start doesn't guarantee a God finish. A good start, sorry, it's a good start doesn't guarantee a good finish, as we see, okay? Josh began with great potential but died dishonored, okay? And I don't know about you guys, but every time that I see a new king, I hope that the king is going to be good, but a plethora of times, a multitude of times, something wrong happens with a lot of kings, not only this one. Okay, sixth lesson. God measures kings by their faithfulness, not their achievements. Temple repairs meant nothing when he turned to idolatry. Basically, summary, Joash begins as a godly king under Jehoiada's guidance, repairing the temple and restoring worship. But after Jehoiada dies, Joash listens to corrupt advisors, abandons God, and murders Jehoiada's sons. As judgment, God sends foreign invaders, and Joash is assassinated by his own officials. His tragic downfall shows the importance of genuine personal devotion to God. And here's something I'm going to tell you in the next chapter. Amaziah's mixed reign, partial obedience, arrogance, and downfall. Yeah. It didn't stop there.